Your favorite fat boys.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite fat boy, Jerron.
Stefan, a.k.a. Mayhem, a.k.a. the Web Slinger, a.k.a. your friendly neighborhood black man.
Twit, 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 twit.
That's what I say at night.
So today we're going to talk about just another hero talk, and we're going to talk about our review of Spider-Man Far From Home.
So, yeah, it's hero time, baby. So we're going to definitely get into it, and we're also going to talk about the Comic-Con announcements, because the San Diego Comic-Con just occurred over the past weekend, and there was some big things going on.
Oh, yeah. So, this is how we, let out our inner geeks. We talk about, the Marvel movies, superhero movies period, and all the nerd stuff that goes out there. Actually, there's a word for us. I know you heard it. Blurs.
The fuck is blurs?
Black nerds.
Black nerds. We can't just be nerds and be black?
I think we should.
Should there be a distinguishment?
It shouldn't be, but I don't really care for the term too much. But I was like, I'm not mad at it either. But I don't want to be called, nobody call me a blurred either.
Yeah, that sounds a little racist.
Fat ass blurred.
That sounds a little racist.
just a smidge.
You some blurbs. Yeah, no, I don't appreciate that.
No. So I'm referring to us as that, but that's just a term I wanted to share with you.
Oh yeah, I've never heard it, and don't you use
it. You. So we saw Far From Home when it came out, and I'll let you start. What was your thoughts of it?
I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I've been enjoying the Marvel run of Spider-Man movies since they come. Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Far From Home definitely, it was a bit of a teen movie. It's sort of, a coming of age movie, right. Spider-Man, getting into a relationship, and, how he was dealing with, being Spider-Man and all of the things that occurred after Avengers Endgame. And it was definitely a sweet story with him and MJ.
Yeah. And
Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. One of the best Spider-Man villains on screen. And I think one of the top tier villains in the MCU as well.
Well, I'm not going to call him top tier, but for Spider-Man, yes. Because, Thanos is still just, he's still that shit.
Yeah, Thanos is up there.
Thanos and Killmonger, they still that shit.
Yeah, I think like performance-wise, you got Thanos, Killmonger, and Jake Gyllenhaal is like probably.
Okay, yeah, I can take it. I still respect, Vulture.
Yeah.
Because
somehow you rank them, they in the top 5.
Oh, yeah, okay. Because, Michael Douglas was... That scene in there in the car, and he was fucking frightening in that.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. I'm sorry. Yeah, Michael Douglas.
That's Ant-Man.
Right. So I definitely enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. Tom Holland is a good Spider-Man, plays a good Peter Parker. The Peter Parker MJ story was good. I think it was better. I won't say better, but it was just as good as what it was in Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Right.
So,
yeah, the characters were well established, the personalities were well established, and them getting together was believable.
Yes, and it wasn't the same rehashed love story from Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Right.
It was something totally their own, and I like the fact they cast Zendaya as MJ. And at first you didn't know who she was, and then at the end of the
her name is, they call her MJ, but she's not Mary Jane Watson. So people, all of the racists out there who were complaining about they made Mary Jane black. She's not Mary Jane Watson. They just call her MJ. She's the MCU MJ.
Right. So what was her name in Homecoming? I forgot now.
Wow. I should know that, but I don't. I have to look that up. But no, yeah. They call her, she said her friends call her MJ.
Well, either way, I like Homecoming had a lot of diversity. And every character, even though a lot of people want to be true to the comics, I think the storyline, the essence that be interpreted in these movies should be taken from the comics. But you don't have to have a character be exactly a white person.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely want to change up because representation is important.
Exactly.
And having people. We live in a multicultural world, so having people in movies that are multicultural gets more butts in seats.
Right, and
Disney knows this.
And you look at the cast of Far From Home, especially all the teenagers or the young actors. It's everybody's different, and that's how today you look at the world today. Everybody's different. And, you
diversity makes the world go round.
Exactly. So speaking of diversity, and your comment about representation. What if Norman Osborn would be black?
That would be the biggest fit thrown on the internet. I don't. Marvel is willing to take some risk, but they won't do that.
Because I was thinking that there would be a Norman Osborn reveal at the end of Far From Home, and it was totally not. They did not reveal their big bad for the next.
See, I think the thing about what they were saying with the MCU Spider-Man is they wanted to use villains who haven't had any screen time, and Norman Osborn has been on, and Harry Osborn has been on the screen plenty of times, from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man to the Amazing Spider-Man. They were included in both of those, so I doubt that the next big bad for Spider-Man will be either of them.
Okay,
because that's the one thing they said.
So who would you like to see as the next villain though?
If anything, since Peter Parker, his identity's been revealed, I want to go with a Kraven the Hunter type situation.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody who is, can match Spider-Man physically and is better than him in most respects. And because he knows his secret identity. So either Kraven the Hunter and bring Scorpion back, because since he was in Homecoming trying to find the identity of Spider-Man. So bring Matt Gargan back in Scorpion and have that going on in there. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I would like to see that as well. I don't think they're going to do necessarily a Sinister Six, but they have a way of introducing like multiple villains. Even in Homecoming, they had the Prowler, they had Scorpion, they had Vulture, they had Shocker. They
didn't have the Prowler as the Prowler.
This is true. They had this character, Aaron, was it McCarter?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, so they had his character there, and you know that character can turn out to be.
Right.
So with Spider-Man 3 and his identity being revealed, would the Prowler come out and try to hunt him? That could be possible. Will Scorpion break out of jail and become Scorpion to hunt, get a bounty to say something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a lot of things can be played up with that. So Kraven, I would like to see that, but I've heard that Sony would be interested to do their.
Yeah, I recall. Yeah, they wanted to do a Kraven movie, but
I'm telling you now, if Morbius takes off, that's it. Kraven's not going to be in the MCU unless they make some kind of deal to have him in the MCU.
Well, I don't see Morbius taking off. Morbius wasn't even really a popular character. As far as Spider-Man villain / anti-heroes go, Morbius is straight D-list. I mean, granted, they got Jared Leto, who's a great actor, playing the role, but Morbius is straight D-list. Nobody was screaming, as much as people were screaming for a Venom movie, nobody was screaming for a Morbius movie.
No, and I don't know why they're doing a Morbius movie, but who knows what Marvel and Sony have something cooked up, because they just announced that Blade is coming to the MCU, so maybe they might do some tie-in. Probably not, but
I mean, well, Blade was already a Marvel movie in general. From the original Wesley Snipes, that was produced by Marvel,
right?
So,
but yeah, I would like to see Kraven. I can't think anybody at the top of my head. They did Doc Ock,
yeah, masterfully so.
Yeah, the Doc Ock was good. That's a good one. Who's some other villains out there? Well, I think what they have established already, the Shocker could come back.
I mean, as far as Shocker goes, it was just the person with the gloves was the Shocker. So,
yeah, I mean,
as opposed to there being an established Shocker character,
and then Vulture still out there. So,
right. So an issue that I had, the only issue that I had with Far From Home is the fact that Mysterio died. Mm-hmm. He was such a great villain, and he was one and done. which I would have preferred that he wasn't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I really liked his character a lot.
Yeah,
I definitely did. And well, maybe he's not dead. Maybe it's an illusion. But because they did that little scene where like what was it, Edith? Asked Edith and said no life sign. So
right, yeah. I mean, he definitely did take a bullet to the gut.
He did.
So spoilers, I guess.
I mean,
but at this point, Spider-Man is probably going to make $1 billion.
It's already past $1 billion.
Right, yeah, it's past $1 billion. So you've seen it.
So I mean, we'll see what the next film is. It's going to be very exciting to see where that goes, and hopefully, they continue with him as Spider-Man. Yeah,
I mean that would be up to Sony to extend the deal, even though they'd be stupid not to, because the only reason that they have any traction right now is because of the MCU Spider-Man.
So Sony, don't fuck it up.
Yeah, and I mean, even Kevin Feige was saying because of the success of Venom that there was a possibility that they could do a movie with the Sony Venom and the MCU Spider-Man, even though I hated the Sony Venom movie.
Venom is not a good movie.
It is not.
And I don't know how they will really tie that in to the MCU. Well, they'll figure a way, but it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense.
It definitely won't. But
I heard that they would think about, doing as possible Spider-Man 3, or they think about also introducing Deadpool, which is probably more than likely in the Spider-Man as well. So
yeah, no, I mean, I would see the Tom Hardy Venom in a Spider-Man movie well before they put a Deadpool in, because they haven't announced any plans to bring any X-Men into the MCU yet.
Yeah,
it's probably looking more like a Phase 5 type situation.
Probably so, and that would make all the sense in the world. But before we jump into Comic-Con and all the Phase 4 news, favorite Spider-Man?
So right now, my favorite Spider-Man will forever be Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Great acted movie. I love Doc Ock as the villain. It's a very emotional movie, and definitely a supreme superhero movie. And that scene with the fight on the train and then Spider-Man stopping the train with the webs is fucking iconic.
Oh yeah, it's depicted in everything, like from the video games to the cartoons.
Yeah,
like, that scene's always reenacted a lot. So
definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie. Don't get me wrong, the MCU Spider-Mans have been up there, but yeah, that will be my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I would say that Spider-Man 2 is mine. It's a really well-rounded, balanced movie.
Oh yeah,
it's just really well acted. It was a great just across the board, and I think one of the better things about the movie, it had a very good video game.
It did.
Back then, the video games tied to movies were crap.
Yeah, movie tie-in video games were never really good because they were always made really quickly just so they can meet when the movie came out, and they were always pretty bad. Yeah,
but the video game was really good. It got a lot of praise. It was probably the first really good movie video game.
Yeah,
that came out
movie tie-in. Yeah.
So, but yeah, Tom Holland, he's definitely close. He's a second as an actor-wise. Tobey Maguire is good. Tom Holland is definitely in his own right a good Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that's his name.
I don't think he was a bad Spider-Man. I just think he had a bad script and a bad director.
I think everything was bad all around, honestly. He wasn't a very believable Peter Parker. His stutter got on my goddamn nerves. Every fucking word was a stutter.
Well, it seemed like they were trying to mimic his quips from Tony Stark.
I'm just saying, as Peter Parker, that stutter that he was doing, I guess, to seem awkward, just seemed stupid. So that definitely got on my nerves. And he was way too good looking and suave to be a nerdy teenager. Just completely miscast in that respect. But I guess, and part of that is he's Andrew Garfield is definitely a good actor, but because I hated those Spider-Man movies so much, it kind of tarnishes it.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man was not worth it to see because there's nothing
Nope.
but a bad rehash of Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then Spider-Man 2 was utter garbage.
Super garbage.
I forgot I was thinking about they had used Electro already. Like,
yeah, they did use Electro, and Jamie Foxx's Electro was horrible. I don't know what he was going for when he was playing that character, or what is it, Andrew Webb, I believe is the director's name, what he was going for when he said, play him like this neurotic, autistic person.
he said that?
I don't know. I'm just assuming he did, because that's the way he played the character.
Jamie Foxx is a good actor.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But that was not for him. Did you know, side note, that he was up to play Luke Cage in a movie?
Huh. Did not know that.
They came to him, I think, in the early 2000s, late 90s, like, you know.
I mean, it makes sense. He was really popular at that point. But he is rather small.
Yeah, he's a small stature guy. But he's going to be Spawn.
Yeah, I do recall him being cast as Spawn. I wonder what's going on with that movie. I haven't heard anything about it in a while.
It's being developed. I think the script is finally done.
And say, I'm assuming that it's going to be in development hell. Because, again, I haven't heard anything about that movie in a while.
They're taking their time with that one. They definitely are. And I think that's more so on Tom McFarlane's part.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he wants to write the movie from, Detective Sam and Switch's perspective, and Spawn is not really going to be in the movie that much.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But yeah, Tom Holland is up there, and Spider-Man. I like what they're doing. I hope they keep it going. I read a article where their plan was, and it's probably a rumor more than anything, that they want to do like a trilogy, each segment of Peter's life. So they want to do a trilogy for him in high school, a trilogy for when he's in college, and a trilogy for when he's in as an adult. So it would be like the Harry Potter version of Spider-Man.
Right. I mean, I can see that because they've been propping him up to be the new Iron Man, the new face of the MCU and the Avengers since, Robert Downey Jr. is out. Right. So that kind of makes sense. But a lot of that is contingent on Sony coming back down to the table and saying, all right, continue to use your character. I mean, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, because they're making buku cash hand over fist.
Right. Only thing's probably going to fuck this up is that someone ego getting away and they're like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to just do it on my own, and thinking that they don't need Marvel's help, as they clearly see that.
Oh, they know they do.
Hey.
They said, now, granted, because Venom did so well that they're moving forward with their fucking villain verse.
Right.
Which, dumb, all of these Spider-Man villains and no fucking Spider-Man.
Well, they said that they might create they may have their own version of Spider-Man in their own verse, and then let Marvel have that younger verse. So this would be like a older Spider-Man that's already established.
Yeah, I don't see it working out.
I want to see it though, and you think about it, if you put it out there, people would pay money to see that.
I would only see because it would cause confusion. Because at this point in time, Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
Yes, and
then you bringing out the Sony-verse Spider-Man, and that would just create confusion. And we know for a fact after Spider-Man 2. When the Sony, studio heads decided to interfere with their movies, they all just went downhill. So from Spider-Man 3 on down, well, with the exception of Into the Spider-Verse, which was very fucking good.
Yeah, very good. And I don't know how that. I understand it was good, but you put out Venom,
right, which was fucking terrible, and then Into the Spider-Verse, which was fucking amazing.
I watch a lot of times on Netflix, and it's a really good movie.
Yeah, definitely. And
it won a lot of awards too as well. So. Hope someone makes the right decision. Keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, they better.
So Comic-Con was last week?
Yeah.
So they had a lot of big announcements regarding
Yeah, Marvel came down, was dropping the big dick. Watch out now. Who said with all of those Phase 4 announcements?
So what they have there as far as Phase 4 going?
What is it? Shang-Chi. They got a What If series coming.
Animated What If series.
Yeah, Marvel What If.
And they're going to use the voices of the past actors from MCU. So
exactly.
That's going to be really interesting.
So they talked more about the Hawkeye series, the Black Widow movie coming out. They said when that takes place. It takes place in between Civil War and Endgame.
Oh, okay.
So they got a new Blade.
Oh, yeah. And I messed his man's name up, but is it Marsala Ali?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough.
Mr. Ali. Yeah, they got him as Blade, and he's a 2-time Academy Award winner. He had enough clout that after he won his last award from Green Book, he called him up like, I want to do Blade.
So Kevin Feige said he came to the Marvel offices like, y'all making a Blade movie, I'm Blade. And they was like, well, we can't tell him no.
You don't turn down an actor who won the Academy Award twice in what a 3 or 4 year period? Right. You don't tell him no. Like, we're making Blade now. So Mahershala Ali, he is the new Blade. They they announced a new Thor movie coming out. Love and Thunder. Yep. Taika Waititi is directing again. Right. Bring back the director. Bringing back Tessa Thompson. Yep, as Valkyrie. And Jane Foster is new she's officially dubbed the Mighty Thor. Yeah. So they're gonna do the female Thor from the comics. Yep. So that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, we wanna see how that turns out. And they announced the Fantastic Four movie. And X-Men too. What's in development? So I don't recall an X-Men movie being announced, but they definitely announced the Fantastic Four movie. Okay. And talked about Black Panther 2 coming out. Captain Marvel 2. Yeah, Captain Marvel 2 as well. And you got WandaVision and also Doctor Strange and the multiverse of Madness. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness, which is a really good run from the comics. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. So the Nightmare verse, which again a really good run from the comics. Oh, I gotta read about that. Yeah. So Marvel came out swinging out the gate with announcements for that Phase 4, because I know Kevin Feige was like, we're gonna wait till Phase 3 is officially over before we start making announcements. So Comic-Con came out and they just dropped a big dick. So what was your best surprise from that announcement? Your favorite surprise? My favorite surprise is that in the Shang-Chi movie, they're going to have the actual Mandarin. Iron Man 3 disappointed the fuck out of me, and I hated the fact that Mandarin was a goddamn joke, but now they actually bringing the real Mandarin into the MCU, so that was the biggest announcement for me. Like, a lot of this stuff I already knew. Black Panther made $1 billion fucking dollars. They definitely going to make a sequel. Oh, yeah, Captain Marvel made $1 billion fucking dollars. They were definitely going to make a sequel. Oh, yeah. And we already knew that Fantastic Four and X-Men, all of those were coming into the MCU. So, yeah, Shang-Chi would be having the actual Mandarin, and it was the biggest surprise for me. I think for me was learning that, is it Helmet or Vern? Helmet Zemo. Yeah. He's going to be in the Falcon Winter Soldier series. Yeah. And they're going to introduce Falcon as Captain America in that series. So that means they kept him for a reason. So I think that's pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool to see. And They showed him with his mask on. So, and then the What If series is going to be animated. Yeah. Because Marvel has not been good with the animated movies. Yeah, not been good. They haven't been doing any. They haven't been doing any. But the ones they put out were lackluster. Yeah, I think the last one that they did was like the Wolverine origin story. It was like a motion comic. Like that was the last animated movie that they did, and that was some years ago. I don't know nothing about that. I know you ain't missing anything. I know they did a podcast of the Wolverine series. So all they did was they just read this story. So, because that's the thing. Yeah, apparently. But yeah, the What If series, I'm interested to see that because, different takes on what could happen. Yeah, I got a bunch of What If comic books. I love them. Yeah, I read those different takes of it. And and the WandaVision too, because they're gonna that's gonna take place after Endgame. And also too, they're bringing in what's that? The daughter from Captain Marvel. They bring her character into that. Okay. Yeah, so she'll be a grown-up version. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Wanda, given her power set, and they said she's gonna be a bit focused on the Doctor Strange sequel as well too, which makes sense. Now, what I want to know is how the Captain Marvel movie is gonna pan out, because of the fact that at this point in time, Captain Marvel is really OP, just really overpowered. So, what is the threat gonna be that's gonna really bring that tension to the movie with a character who is extremely overpowered? Who do you think off the top of your head would be someone that she can fight.
I mean, granted, she is, a cosmic character. So I would think that this could the Captain Marvel movie could be the introduction of their newest big bad. So that Galactus type introduction. So you use that as a springboard to bring in another big bad, to really set off the rest of the phases.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about what it could be. I heard a lot of talk about Annihilus, because at the end of Far From Home, you see Nick Fury on some kind of a ship of sorts.
Yeah, it was Sword, which was the space shield organization.
Right. So he's on Sword the Sword ship, and I guess he's preparing for something, I guess for anything, really. But something could be coming, so the Nala story has been talked about a lot. But they've also talked about bringing in Nova as a character as well. And I think... Yep.
I mean, they already introduced the Nova Force in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. They introduced the Nova Force, so it only makes sense that they would bring it in.
Right. And then on top of that, like, Thanos in Infinity War, he destroyed Xander, which was their home planet, right? Yeah. So, a lot of people wanted to see that scene, but I forgot the reason now off the top of my head why they didn't put it in there, but I liked how they saw the Infinity War. It was like, all right, he already started coming in kicking ass. And the fact you don't see him go through like the battle of Xander per se, it lets you know how badass he was. So he meant business. But
so I mean, Comic-Con, Marvel definitely had the announcements. I mean, DC had a couple of announcements, but
y'all fucking up, man. Like,
I mean, it's movie wise, TV show wise. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have the same interest that I thought I would have in that CW verse.
CW verse, I won't say it sucks, but you can't expect me to watch the Arrow when nobody knows what the Arrow is. Out here, it's face paint over his face. Yeah. And that's your best. It's your best friend. That's your homie you've been kicking it with for since day one. And he run around with some green leather on and a bow and an arrow. I'm like, who is this?
And some face paint, and you can't tell who it is.
At least with the Flash, he has most of his face covered up, and he vibrated, so you couldn't see who he was.
Yeah, they have like 5 shows in the CW verse, and they're doing I think their big announcements. They're doing like a Crisis on Infinite Earth type situation. But in all of the 5 shows are connected. Why the fuck I got to keep up with 5 shows so I can get the story for this goddamn arc?
You know why? Because it worked with Flash and Arrow, and then it worked with Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. Then it worked with Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. Now it's going to work with Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Batwoman. Yeah. That's a lot. That's one take too.
You're right. No extra tries on that one. Right. You got it. So I mean, and outside of movies, they didn't really have any big announcements. They had some new photos from the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, which I'm not super interested in.
I might go see it.
I'm gonna probably go see it because I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah. But I'm not super interested in it.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen Joaquin Phoenix in. I think the last time I might have seen him might have been Ladder 49.
He was in the movie Her, which was pretty good.
Yeah, Her was good. Her was pretty good, but yeah, he's not in a lot of films. So I won't say he's not in a lot of films nowadays. But he's a really good actor. So
definitely.
Let's see how this plays out. Wonder Woman 2 comes out 21? Was it 20 or 21?
I think it might have been 2020.
Okay, it should have came out this year. In all honesty,
yeah. Because the buzz is starting to leave.
Exactly. And I'm like...
Because the DC universe is so in fucking shambles. All of the buzz is really starting to leave.
Yeah, I think they should have at least said this year. Because I think it was supposed to come out last year. They pushed it up. But it came out this year. That way you said 2 films because Aquaman came out in 2018. Did something else come out in 2018 for DC?
When did Shazam come out?
2018. Yeah. No.
No,
that was this year.
That was this year.
Yeah, so it made sense they put out another film. Because it was like, who's talking about DC right now? Except for us.
Yeah, I mean, again, the only announcements that really came out of Comic-Con for DC were about the CW verse. They ain't really talk about any of their movies. They just thought, we got...
And you could tell, like, seeing some of them interview people, they were like really like pumping up, like, this is a huge, huge event. And it's like, but y'all done this before. Like, how many times you gonna keep doing this?
I mean, it's the final season of Arrow, so they got to have something going on.
I mean, those characters are gonna return in some form or fashion throughout those shows. I'm pretty sure. You know, he's not gonna Stephen Amell.
Yeah, Amell.
Amell. He's not gonna just be, totally done with the character.
He might be. I mean, 8 years doing, he might be tired.
Well, he like wrestling. He's been in WWF.
Oh well,
WWE.
WWE, yeah.
So I mean, who knows?
I mean, as far as TV shows go, I think the only other announcement that I was really happy about was, they were talking about Preacher, which is a show that I watched, and they're doing their final season, and I've enjoyed watching it. So
was that full season?
Yeah, fourth season of Preacher, fourth and final season of Preacher.
I have not watched that. I should though. I've recently got into The Boys.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of The Boys. It was really good.
Yeah. And speaking of superhero stories that are outside DC and Marvel, that's really good. And so is Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah, definitely
I
Umbrella
recommend
Academy.
trying, watching those if you want something that is not so, Marvel and DC based. Those two shows, they're definitely outside of that. Yeah,
another show that I enjoyed, but it's been canceled. So watch it if you want to, but you probably don't need to. Was Deadly Class.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It was a decent show. Definitely raw, gritty. Had a lot of gratuitous violence and blood and gore, but it was a decent story. And I've enjoyed the comics beforehand, but it did get canceled. So
yeah, they're gonna leave it where it's at because they try to shop it around.
Yeah, so don't watch it with the expectation if you're gonna see any real conclusions, which is always a shame when a show that you enjoy does get canceled.
Yeah, like I'm into it. You invested, and we're not bringing it back. Well, what I watched 3 seasons for then straight.
Right. So, anything else from Comic-Con?
Nah, nothing. Was like, ooh, I can't wait.
Right.
Out the Marvel stuff. So
yeah, again, Marvel came to the San Diego Comic-Con and just dropped the biggest dick.
Right, and then think about it too. What's funny is like the Phase 4 is like they didn't bring a lot of. They didn't announce them the sequels for the bigger stars, the bigger movies. But yeah, they said they're going to introduce the characters all over again in a sense, but newer characters, new stories with the Shang-Chi.
Yeah, they were saying that Endgame was the end, and now Phase 4 is about the introduction of some new blood, fresh new blood into the series, into the Marvel universe.
Yeah, so they announced the cast of Eternals, which is really heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah, they just went star power out the ass.
Right.
So they realized that the Eternals are really obscure, so they just grabbed all the star power.
When you got Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie, you want to make sure you put some butts in the seat. All right,
and I was thinking they were, and I believe they were eyeing Keanu Reeves for a part as well. So they trying to get all the star power up in that bitch.
Yeah, because I read an article that said that they talked to Keanu every time they had a movie come up. They talked to him to see how he can fit in the movie some way. And I don't think nothing stuck.
Right,
but if something does stick, I would definitely be glad to see it.
So and I think the last thing that came out of Comic-Con that I enjoyed that was surprising for me is they showed a new trailer for Westworld Season 3.
Oh yeah,
and I like Westworld. I really do.
I haven't seen like any 4 episodes, but I like the actors they have on that show. So I need to check that out.
Actors, stories. So Westworld is definitely really, 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 really good. I recommend it.
I think it's one of the most special shows on TV right now. Too.
It probably is.
It's like I've seen some of the set pieces. And I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah, it probably is. So it's really good, and they showed a new trailer for that. So that excited me.
Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, I think that was about it.
Pretty much.
So Comic-Con, it's not a competition, but Marvel won it.
Maybe one day we're going to go to Comic-Con.
I mean, you can. I mean, there's Comic-Cons in Baltimore. I've been to quite a few. I mean,
we did go to one year.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's nothing like.
No, it's not San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah,
that's why I want to go.
Fucking San Diego.
I want to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
I mean, you can. You just hop on a plane and go.
You going to go with me?
I mean, I've been to San Diego before. Okay, we can do that.
You got nothing else to do?
I always got something to do.
Not really.
Okay, probably not. All right, so that's our show for today. I said again, you can let us know what you liked about Comic-Con. I mean, I'm pretty sure that y'all got some different interests that we didn't touch on that you might want to comment on. Said again, hit us up on our email, yourfavoritefatboys@gmail.com. Watch us on YouTube. Hit us up. Leave comments. Listen to our podcast on SoundCloud, Google Music Play, Spotify, iTunes. We everywhere. Get on top of that. So that's our show. Peace out.
Peace.